talked about transit issues and what transit drivers are facing with it. I never thought about the fumes thing, but you're breathing those bad fumes every day. Answers some questions I had about your related to the fumes. I don't know. But I'm just saying that, you know, the unions aren't the perfect answer for all this. They're not the perfect answer. I've been in the labor movement 30 years, retired 6 years ago from SEIU. I'm stepping down in April as president of the Labor Council after 23 years. I've pretty much seen it all, done it all. I've been shot at, I've been beat up, I've been arrested, all for...
Some by other Democrats, too.
Yeah, exactly. And I always figured, since my mom and dad kind of screwed me into being independently wealthy, and I had to have a job in order to pay the bills and eat at least one meal a day. I had a career that I got up every morning and I went to work, and my whole job was to advocate for workers. I really like that. But the unions are not the 100% answer either. And there's unions out there that I wouldn't vote for. But when you look at the bigger view about what's happening economically with workers in this country, raise your hand here, because I really would like to see another answer. Raise your hand. Who else is going to speak? What other organization can speak for workers in this country 24/7, 365 days a year? Name me another group that speaks for workers in our country. It ain't the Building Industry Association. It ain't the Chamber of Commerce. It's just the labor group. And that's why the right is focusing so hard right now on the labor movement, because they believe they have the momentum going in their favor. And maybe for a while they will. I think we'll prevail in the end. But interesting times we're living through right now. Yes.
I was in a healthcare meeting Wednesday night, and somebody from the union spoke up there saying there's going to be a demonstration on Monday at Rite Aid in Bellingham. Yeah, and so that would be a chance for some of us to get with it.
It's on the Wacom Democrats website. I'm thinking it was noon.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah.
I got it written down in the book.
Yeah.
I thought it was noon as well.
but we're going to have to start.
I knew. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
We're going to have to start getting our bodies out.
I want to second what Dave just said about who but the labor union will advocate for workers. But the other thing, I've got lots to say, but the one I want to make a point of is the reason the public sector does services is that the private sector wouldn't do it. We have bus systems that are public sector because the private sector abandoned bus systems, light rail in trolley systems and such earlier in the century. And it was because the public wanted them back and that they were abandoned. The ferry system is a public system because they couldn't make money on it as a private. I mean, originally, when we had no roads and the only way to get around Puget Sound was by boat, then yes, ferry systems were profitable, or at least necessary. Somebody may manage to do it as a private business. But they won't do it private. They can't make the money that they want to make on it because people wouldn't pay the fares. So there's a reason for these firefighters. You know, it's not something the private sector is going to do. I mean, we saw that example of that crazy situation in Tennessee or Kentucky last year where the firefighters let the house burn down because they hadn't paid the annual fee to the service. I mean, there's a reason they're public. And if the public doesn't want those services, fine. But I think they do. They just want them for nothing.
We look at the exact same thing that you said just happened here in Whatcom County. If you realize, in 1973, we had a private ambulance system. It was all private. We woke up one morning, that system wasn't there. It was gone.
There's been a lot of them.
And just, I mean, and that's what started our medic system, was, because who else was there? It was the firefighters that were there. But it was just overnight, we didn't pick our ambulance system.
We used to have
Well-
the Linden Stage, the
Yeah.
Everson
Door.
Stage, yeah, before the transit expanded out of the town.
But how many people in the public know that this happened? We've got the unions, and we don't see a value-added benefit from it. We go to Walmart, we see that we're saving $3 on a shirt, value-added benefit. To me, the unions need to somehow let the public know that they're contributing a value-added benefit to it, to compete with corporations that are cutting their prices and taking these jobs away. That's my opinion, okay? My dad started, my great-grandfather was a union printer in Kansas City. My grandfather was a union and a musician. My dad was a union worker since the time he was 16. The value-added benefit was my dad took testing. They taught my dad how to be a printer. They taught my dad how to be a journeyman. And when A.B. Hirschfeld in Denver hired my dad, they knew what my dad could do. He was a lockup man. He was a color specialist. And the union backed up A.B. Hirschfeld, and the union backed up my dad. My dad worked union 16 to 62. Retired from the Denver Post. My dad also owned his own company. It was Hartman Brewing Printing Company in Denver. It was 49th Draft Pro Union. He had the #1 union logo bud. On this company here that says they're supporting unions, there's not a logo, a bug on it. It says it was made by a union. Okay? Where has the union failed? By not going to this company and saying, if you're so damn pro-union, get it printed by a union printer.
Hey, listen,
This newspaper right here, same thing. Why when I walk into the grocery store that's negotiating for a union contract, why do I see a button on that union worker that says, I'm union, got a problem, call this number? Why do I have to contest, put up with some manager in that grocery store? Why can't I talk to somebody that's got something over that employee that can give me a value-added service that I don't have to mess with somebody else? Why isn't there a logo on every store that has union employees that lets me know that this is a union shop? I think a lot of things have gone by the wayside. Why hasn't the union, if a guy calls up and says, oh, I want to do programming for you, I say, fine, show me some examples of web pages that you've done. For all I know, he takes these web pages off and he lies to me. I have no verification that this programmer knows anything. If the union would go ahead and certify programmers and all this stuff, so if he said, well, you know, I'm certified to level, just like Bill Gates does, level XYZ, and publicize this, the employers would be able to check this out. Again, the union job, they've been great over the years. I belong to the Newspaper Guild in Denver, but people don't know what unions do anymore. My kids don't know what unions do. Everybody sitting here has belonged to a union, participated in a union of this sort. My kids don't know the difference between Walmart workers and a union shop worker. They don't know the value added. I think what we really need to do is the newspapers. I know the poor textile workers ran TV ads for years saying we're the textile workers of America, and they lost. But I think it's time we put up a good fight.
I think we need to get.
I hope so, too.
We need to form alliances with everybody in the public, and I think we have not marketed ourselves in a way at all.
That's right. For years.
And it's difficult. You're talking about this paper. There is no